Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in to Inspiring You with me, Kim C. Shaw, your people champion. So good to see you guys. I hope everyone is having an amazing holiday season with their loved ones and their family. If you are tuning in for the first time, I really appreciate you and thank you for coming. And if you tuned in last week, welcome back. Thank you for coming. And I hope you told some folks about me. Today is the second segment of my broadcast, Self Leadership. If you know anything about me, you know that leadership is my thing. The beauty of it all is, as I shared previously, we know that in order to be a good leader, you have to first lead yourself. If you're unable to lead yourself properly, how on earth can you expect to be leading anyone else? I'm so excited to be here with you, and I'm going to be sharing very shortly. I don't take too much of your time because I know everyone's time is pretty valuable. Want to get with it, get some quick hits in, some nuggets that hopefully you can use and share with others as well. So, as I shared, if you know me, you also know that I'm a very interactive person, and I really like interaction. I am streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. And depending on where you're watching, you have the opportunity to put some comments in so we can chat and we can kind of communicate. You can ask questions and different things like that. So I am super excited. And again, in order for us to be great leaders, we first have to lead ourselves. I'm sure you will agree. Before we jump in, if if you're online, if you can just wave a hand or send a check-in or just do a comment in the chat, that would be really cool. So I'll know that I got some folks online, but if not, it's okay. Please, again, use the chat to ask any questions as we go along. So, without further ado, just what is self-leadership? Good question. What is self-leadership? Well, hi Fazia, how are you? So good to see you. According to Bryant and Kaizen in 2012, they shared that self leadership is the practice of intentionally influencing your own thinking, your feelings, and actions toward your objective or your objectives. And I believe in life in general. If what I'm sharing with you today really resonates with you, I would really love for you to continue joining my broadcast as I'll be coming live every Wednesday. I'll get better as I go, and sharing with you the weekly broadcast. I would also love it if you can invite someone else you think may benefit from what I'm sharing with you. Again, interaction is really important and great. So you can go ahead and throw stuff in the chat and we can talk. So let's dig in. Self-leadership. When we talk about self-leadership, it means it means taking responsibility for your outcomes. It means that we know what we want, defining it. What is it? It means putting together and taking responsibility for our own outcomes. It means setting the direction for our lives. That's what it means. It means setting the direction for our lives and ensuring that we are doing everything that's necessary for us to make the best of whatever it is that we set ourselves out to do. It also means having the tools to manage our priorities. And this is where I come in terms of providing these types of broadcasts. Self leaders, of course, they work at all levels. It's not just in corporate America, it's in our day to day, it's in our lives, it's in what we do, how we govern ourselves with our families, our friends, and so forth. Self leaders, again, work at all levels. They work within organizations from the very bottom, as well as on the entrepreneurial plane, where I'm at right now. They're frontline workers, every possible role. You don't have to have a title to be a leader. We already know that, but we should always govern ourselves, regardless of whether we have a title or not, to be effective self leaders. in every possible. Middle managers. Good morning, Adana. How are you? Thanks so much. Middle managers, CEOs, entrepreneurs, and so many more. We all are self leaders. We all have that capacity. I'm not going to say we all are self leaders. We have the capacity to be great self leaders. But hopefully, what I'm going to be sharing is going to help us get better. I have two of my favorite examples: Tom Brady, Walt Disney. You know me, you know why I shared those examples. Look at their lives. Both Tom Brady and Walt Disney worked super hard to achieve their dreams, but I don't think they actually used the term self-leadership. But when you look at their lives and what they've actually accomplished, it's kind of obvious to see that they clearly demonstrated that being in control of their lives, their behaviors, and their results, their focus, their practices, and the things that they do, and their learning were necessary to actually achieve those goals. I'm a football fanatic, Faz. Ooh, yes. Are you still a Pats fan, Faz? I am. I mean, I root for Tom. I don't really watch him that much, but I do root. But I'm still a Patriots fan. I love me some football, but that man's work ethic is bar none. It's insane. So you know he has to be disciplined. He has to have that self-leadership that's required to get where he is. Also, Walt Disney. Oh my gosh. Every time I go into any of the parks, I am in awe of what he's done. I'm in awe of the foundation that he laid down and that he put together to ensure that we would be enjoying his dream for many, many, many years to come. Yoo-hoo, that's right. That's right. So what does self-leadership require? I mean, what is it exactly? Self-leadership requires a commitment to ourselves to decide what we want from life and to do what's necessary to get that results that we want. That's what it's required. I created this live series to help you guys, my faithful followers or my faithful viewers, internalize these 4 key characters that I know because I practice them. I'm not perfect, but I do practice them to ensure that I am moving towards my goals. There are 4 key characteristics, and you internalize them, and I call them pillars too of self-leadership, so we can make meaningful, empowered choices while taking those actions that are really necessary to get us where we want to go and where we need to go to achieve our goals. As I shared in previous sessions, there are a few key characteristics of great self-leaders. The reminder is these are the characteristics. I shared them in session 1 just in case you didn't see it, but here they are. The first one, knowing who we are. That's knowing who you are. Who you are. So who you are as a whole, that's what you believe in, what's important to you, and what your goals are. Those are the things that encompass who you are, who we are. The next one is knowing what we do. What do you do? That's our behaviors, our motivations, the things that are behind us, the things that allow us to do whatever it is that we do. What is it that you do? So first, you know who you are. The second one is you know what you do. That's your behaviors and motivations. The third one is knowing what we need to learn. That one is so super important because you can kind of know where you are, you know who you are, but do you know what you're missing? What is it that you need to learn? That's identifying things that you still might have gaps in, your learning points, and then also knowing what you need. Okay, knowing that you need this is different from setting up that learning plan and actually executing on it. That's the third one. And then the fourth pillar or characteristic is knowing, using what we know. And that, my friends, I believe is the crux. I'm super excited to be here with you because I'm using what I know to help edify and build up others. That's why I like to call myself the people champion. I think you might have seen my pom-poms in the beginning, but yes, I love cheering you on. Using what we know. That's building successful habits to support those remaining pillars, but also using what you know to help edify others. Again, you cannot be a successful leader unless you are first leading yourself successfully. You also are creating that environment for success. That is with you being a successful leader, self leader, and then you executing on what makes you great. You guys have any feedback for me? Any questions before I go further? I want some feedback. I hope you're still with me. Now, when we're working through these pillars, there's some things that you want to do, and I'm working through my whole yeah. New to this StreamYard stuff. But when we're working through these pillars, they're beneficial actions that you guys may have already heard, I'm sure, because we're adults and there's not really much that we haven't heard. You're working through, awesome, thank you. You're working through those pillars, but they're beneficial actions that we have to take. And I said, as adults, I know we've all heard of them. We've probably even done them in the past, or we may be still doing them. And kudos to you guys if you're still currently doing some of these things that I'm going to talk about. So there are 4 of them. Well, actually, there's several of them. And I'm going to share a few, and then we're going to dig in deep. And in each week, I'm going to get a little further into it. So you got to tune in. Pillar number 1, that's the one I talked about, knowing who we are. So what action step can we take to really get down deep into knowing who it is that we are? What do we do? Creating a personal vision statement. A lot of times, believe it or not, people go through life just kind of willy-nilly, and they're not really focusing on what it is that they want to do. They're just going to land wherever it is that they're going to land. And that might not be, a bad thing for some folks, to each his own, and whatever floats your boat, right? But if you really have goals, you really want to create that personal vision statement. If you feel like you're getting more out of life, or if you feel like you want to get more out of life, I highly recommend setting that personal vision statement. This is then going to help you set short and long-term goals, right? It only makes sense because you have the vision statement, and then you have the goals that are going to help you get to where it is. Those that short and long-term goals are going to influence what you do each and every day. I'm sure you guys have all heard of this before. This is nothing new. However, I know for me, I've heard it a million times, but the only way it's going to work is if I actually execute and I actually follow through on the things that I know. As great self-leaders, we need to know what we want from life first and foremost, and then have that plan to get there. It's not going to happen by itself. It's not going to happen by osmosis, no matter what you think. It just doesn't work that way. I think of it as a pyramid, or like a pyramid. So the bottom of that pyramid, and pyramids they're like that triangular shape. The bottom of it is the foundation of that pyramid. That is your personal vision. That's the first step in you creating your plan to start that self-leadership that you need to get you to where you want to go. And then the second tier up from the foundation is your 5 to 10 year goals. I've heard that, you don't want to set goals that far in between, that far in a distance, because you never know what's going to happen. And you never know, yes, you're going to have to make adjustments, and there's nothing really set in stone. But unless you have a destination, it's kind of hard for you to set a path on how you're going to get there. That's just my own personal thought. So setting up that 5 to 10 year goal is necessary for you to start working your way towards governing yourself. And Tom Brady, I'm telling you, when he was a kid, he said he was going to be a household name. He was just talking about that. He said, and he didn't know what he was talking about back then, but Tom Brady said, I'm going to be a household name. And doggone it, you can go anywhere on this planet and they will know who that man is. Talk about a personal vision, right? Going up to the next level on your pyramid, you go from 5 to 10 year goals, and then you go to your 1 to 2 year goals. Your 1 to 2 year goals, those are going to cascade. So, what do I need to do within my 5 to 10 year goals? That's going to cascade to what you're going to need to do each and every year to meet that personal vision, to meet those 5 to 10 year goals. Then, your next level is you're going to set your weekly or monthly task list. Write the vision. Write the vision. It's so funny. This piece of beauty right here, this is my best friend. Great planners. Having a planner, and my partner actually designed this and made this planner. So plug in for Savola. But having a planner and having something that you write your vision in and you write your goals in and you write your list day to day in is really going to help you move to the next level of what you're doing. And also, I think personally, when you see what you're doing and what you're putting in place come to fruition, you want to talk about motivation and inspiration within yourself to keep it going. Oh, it works wonders. And at the very top of your pyramid, that's your daily list or your actions that you're going to implement to get to your ultimate goal. Sounds like a piece of cake, right? Yeah, not all the time, because yep, the pyramid is similar to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That is so true. And think about it. When you align those two together, Adonia, when you align those two together, you think of what's the first one? Life, right? Just having life, having the necessities of life. I think for us to feel good within our spirit, within our mind, within our bodies and everything, we have to have those goals. That is a part of what it is that we need to be successful. It definitely aligns with each other. Who on today's call, who here, can somebody tell me if you have done your pyramid, or if you have set your life's aspirations, your 10 years, your 15 years, your 20 years down the line, and you're working progressively towards that foundation that you've already set, that personal vision? Does anybody have that going? So the four on the first one on the pyramid is your personal vision. That's the first thing. So in 20 years, I want to have inspiring you be a global. I do really want to get it to be a global organization. And I want to help as many people realize their personal goals and their personal dreams within themselves first and foremost. Awesome. Awesome. And see, that's the first step, Adonia. You're starting it and you're tightening it up. Guess what? You're doing it. You're doing something. The first one is your vision. The second one is your 5 to 10 year goals. The third level is the 1 to 2 year goals. And then the next one is your monthly and your weekly tasks that cascade up to each one of those. And that's where I shared the planner comes in. Great planners are amazing for that, because you write down your goals and you write down what it is that you want to do. And then you check off how you're accomplishing them, things that you need to tighten up, things that you need to work on, things that you need to improve on. And then you move to the next one. And then seeing your goals and your life's dreams come to fruition is just amazing. I mean, it is amazing. My kids crack on me all the time because they look at my wall, and I call it my wall of fame. When I get down, I look at it, my accomplishments, the things that I've done over the years, and education and different things like that. Yes, it helps visually. It helps to see you say you're going to do something and put that thing into action, and then see it come into action. Now, awesome for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, for those of us who can use some additional guidance, there are three important steps I believe that are gonna that help in creating your actual personal vision. And guess what? That is gonna be the first thing we talk about in next week's session. I told you I wasn't gonna keep you long. 20 minutes, 25 minutes tops. I so thank you for joining. What an awesome time I had today sharing this short session with you. Oops, I got to do something about this microphone. If you were able to glean any nuggets or some nuggets to get you thinking further about your self leadership journey, or use this information to help someone else grow, excellent, amazing. Please, please be sure to tune in to my next session for more on self leadership, where we're going to keep digging in deeper and deeper each week into what we're talking about. We're going to keep adding on and adding on. And at the end of this thing, guys, you're going to be powerhouses. People are going to be like, what's gotten into you? You've changed. Yes, because you're growing, you're developing yourself, and you're doing it for you. Now, as with many other entrepreneur organizations, my company, Inspiring You, I can send this to you if you send me a private chat, Adonia, and I will give you the information to get your lady boss. This is called the Motivate Entrepreneur Planner. And oh my gosh, it is a wealth. This is my Bible, but God knows, you know what I'm saying? Amazing. So, like I was saying, my company Inspiring You thrives, and I grow best by word of mouth. If you are enjoying your experience with me online, if you follow me on any of the social media platforms, if you like my videos, any of that good stuff, please don't keep me a secret, guys. I'm a starving entrepreneur. I'm just playing. I'm not really playing. I'm really serious. But please don't keep me a secret. Share me with 3 to 5 other businesses or people you believe could benefit from my expertise. As always, I'm always here to support. You guys know, you text, you call me, you send up smoke signals. I'm going to help you as best I can. Also, remember to follow me on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and all those good things. Twitter, I'm on all of that to learn more about what I do and how I can help you. Be sure to visit www.inspiringyou.world to review and my resources for personal and professional development and enrichment. I have tons. You can also book a complimentary leadership assessment and discovery session. And I thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to tune in to Leadership Live with Inspiring You and me, your people champion. You guys have an amazing hump day and rest of the week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Thanks so much.